Dear student, let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 30th January 2017. The first article is on Gandhi for our troubled times. In this article, we will be discussing about the relevance of Gandhiji for today. Here, we will be talking about the Gandhian Satyagraha, what are its central pillars, how they are still relevant for our politics today. Now, Gandhiji has clearly stated that Satyagraha is for courageous, not for covert. The Satyagraha is based on two pillars, that is truth and non-violence. Is the truth reflects, or it's a reflection of one's inner self. It is a realization and it is self-transformation of a society. So this reflection to realization to transformation, this is what the Satyagrahi has to do. So in that way, the Gandhian philosophy is a moral compass for the humanity. And then the non-violence, it is a way of dissent. It is a way to fight against the injustice. Here, a Satyagrahi has to fight for the hypocrisy within his side and growing populism, and added to that, he shall be a truth seeker. So that's why a Satyagrahi or Satyagraha involves a brave act of dissenting. So it means non-violence is a struggle against wickedness and hypocrisy. So the Gandhian theory even still have a relevance for today, where the populistic politics and morality is being guided by hypocrisy. And the second thing is, Gandhi also has explained his view of democracy. Gandhian ideal of democracy involves a moral growth of individuals, the primacy for the non-violent actions. So as divisions are growing across the people and the morality and spirituality are decreasing, so the Gandhian ideal of democracy again can act or symbolize an ideal against injustice. So Gandhian relevance did not decrease. It has to be seen from a recontextualized world to understand it from its ideal philosophical denotation and denominations. Coming to keeping safely on the rails, or keeping safety on the rails. This article, it talks about the rail accidents in India. 85% of the rail accidents in India are due to the failure in rail management. Only 15% are related to sabotage. This is what is Anil Kakodkar committee has clearly stated. That shows the need for improvement of functioning of the rail system in India, which is a circulatory system, or which is like a circulatory system of human body. And added to that, Gandhiji has made clearly a statement for creating a safe, equitable rail system to provide for the services to everyone. So the government is contemplating to create a fund, Rashtriya Rail Samraksha Fund or Suraksha Fund. This fund has to be well utilized, rightly monitored and transparently executed to provide for the rail safety in India. That's what this article prescribes for. And coming to fielding the finest. Now, at the level of the army commanders, only the most competent people are going to come into positions. Over and above the level of brigadier, in the army, the finest people are being fielded. Choosing the merit or finest among the finest is the biggest challenge for the army. And second, keeping the army apolitical is the biggest success of our democracy till date. In this context, the government has been brought in a merit principle to provide for a promotion to Mr. Rawat, superseding two senior most generals. This shall not lead to politicization of army. Whenever we are prescribing for a merit, there has to be a clear definition for merit, and there has to be a clear process to define and to recognize the merit. So in this context, as of now, minimum 2 years of office is required to elevate a person to the army's chief. So this has to be reduced to 18 months so that more candidates can come up and apply for army chief's position. And second is, The merit shall be determined by a committee consisting of existing 3 chiefs and if any chief of staff comes up, a permanent office of chief of staff comes up. So, this 4-member body has to decide on who has to be the future chief of the 3 forces. That's what is this article recommends for. Choked by the global gag order or gag rule. This article talks about the pro-life and pro-choice debate in the United States of America. The pro-life debate, it talks about anti-abortion laws in the country. The pro-choice debate talks about the pro-abortion and contraception choices to the people. So in this case, whenever the Republicans comes to power, they go with pro-life. Democrats go with pro-choice. So in this context, the global gag rule, it has come during the Ronald Reagan era in Mexico Summit on Population. What it states is, America shall not fund directly or indirectly to abortion. So it states that the America or American funds shall not go to NGOs that are actively involved in abortion as a choice as a reproductive choice. So they have to give a declaration that they are not involved in any such activity. So what can be the consequences of Trump signing the gag order again? So it can demoralize the NGOs involved in reproductive work. And second, it may hinder the sex education and related proactive measures for the teenagers. It can become an arm in the hand of the governments to control the NGOs. Finally, NGOs can be demotivated or use this as an excuse for their ineffective work with regard to the reproductive field is concerned. So, in this context, the growing AIDS, etc., these are also the spillovers of lack of reproductive choices. So, the work of the NGOs who are involved with reproductive choices also spills into the fight against the sexually transmitted diseases. This work shall not be affected because of this gag order. That is what the author expects to. Now, this is what is the notes for today. So, first, Gandhi for our troubled times. So, what I want to say is, Gandhiji is a moral compass for humanity, and his ideal of satyagraha is a way for dissent, and it is also a way for understanding oneself and one's society by introspection. And it is also a weapon against hypocrisy and also against the degradation of the moral values and ethos in the society. That is what is the essence he spoke about. And then the politics in terms of resistance and protest, beyond the conception of domination, it provides for a real meaning in today's decreasing or today's growing democracy deficit. So that's what my statement will be. And then we have discussed the perspective page. So a committee shall be constituted to determine the merit in promotion of the army chiefs. And the second thing is about the gag order. This is what is the article for today. Today the question is, what do you think is the relevance of Gandhiji for today's world? So you need to start the answer with Gandhiji's Satyagraha, central ideals of Gandhiji's Satyagraha and how they are important for today's politics, today's democracy and today's moral growth of the individuals. You can explain the 3 ways. In ethics, it can also bring in a comparison between the Socrates way of questioning oneself and Gandhian political philosophy, how they can come together. But it is too much of thinking. But however, this can be a very relevant question for us. Thank you very much. All the best.